So it's time then for the main event, and the main event that takes us after 71 laps to the halfway point of this 2022 season. Welcome along to the Red Bull Ring, and it's the 35th World Championship Austrian Grand Prix, the 18th to take place at this track, where pole has won 8 out of 17 times, including the last 4 Grand Prix here. The track itself, 2.68 miles long. There are 10 corners, 3 to the left and 7 to the right. A lap distance at full throttle for 77% of the lap, and there are 3 DRS zones, overtaking spots into turn 1, into turn 3 and into turn 4 as well. Big elevation changes, as you would expect here in the Austrian Alps. 63.5 meters lowest point to the highest point at turn 3, and this last year is George Russell on Lance Stroll, taking the inside line at turn 3 and getting the move done without his opponents having to leave the track. Leclerc and Perez down into turn 4. Got to be late on the brakes here, got to be careful on the brakes here, and Sergio Perez very much was. Charles Leclerc, though, fighting him back on the way down to turn 5. That move needs to be got done before you get to this one. Turn 6, Norris and Hamilton in 2021, and what a great scrap that was between the McLaren and the Mercedes driver. As it was previously, we've got the softest tyre compounds that Pirelli can bring. The hard is the C3, the medium the C4, the soft is the C5, and Pirelli saying that that hard tyre could very much be a favoured race tyre in a pit stop strategy that's hovering somewhere between 1 and 2 stops. Here's the starting grid then for the Austrian Grand Prix. And Valtteri Bottas will be starting from the pit lane. Power unit penalties, and they changed his rear wing. They've changed the power unit on Fernando Alonso's Alpine after he didn't start yesterday. Sebastian Vettel then starts 18th alongside Nicholas Latifi for Williams. And ahead of these two, Yuki Tsunoda and Alex Albon, who lost 4 places in the sprint and picked up a 5-second penalty for forcing Norris off the road. Pierre Gasly starts 14th. Podium sitters have come 6 times from that spot here. Zhou Guanyu 13th and Lance Stroll in 12th, moved up 5 places in the sprint. Daniel Ricciardo is 11th. His teammate Lando Norris is 10th. First time in the last 6 races here. The McLaren haven't been in the top 5 on the grid. Mick Schumacher starts 9th, and ahead of them comes Lewis Hamilton 8th and Kevin Magnussen 7th, the other Haas. Esteban Ocon makes his 100th Grand Prix start today from 6th. Sergio Perez 5th for Red Bull. He was 13th on the grid in the sprint. George Russell starts 4th alongside Carlos Sainz, Ferrari 3 and 2 on the grid after being 10th and 12th on their last visit here. And it's Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen on the front row for what is the 6th time this season, and Verstappen has